Good morning. So, have you ever failed? And have you wished you didn't? Those are my two questions today. Maybe you have failed more than you wish to, and it knocked your confidence and it knocked your resilience, and you wondered if you'll ever get through it. Maybe it just made you feel rubbish and you questioned if you were absolutely up to the job. How about what if you're on the other side of the spectrum where you see failure as an opportunity? You see failure to embrace as it's all the learning and actually the magic. You learn so much more when things don't go well. So, this is why it's so important to have a think about failure. And my newsletter is about this today, to think about review failure in terms of what it actually is. So, that's the thing for today. So, what I would say to you is my story was in the army, I used to fear weapons, which was quite unfortunate as I was in the army. And so we, as a nurse and a midwife, we actually had weapons to protect our patients and ourselves. We weren't going out for the actual fighting, thank goodness. So that was the problem. So I used to go on the ranges every year. We used to have annual weapons tested, and I used to find it really, really scary. But I used to get over it every single time. Sometimes I didn't do well, sometimes I did okay. But I used to find it absolutely terrifying. And but the more I did it, the more I got used to it. And actually, I had the biggest test when I was in Afghanistan, because when I was in Afghanistan, we had a loaded weapon on us at all times. And I really got over my hang up. So I'm not doomed in terms of failure, but initially I absolutely did fail at my weapons because I was so nervous. I remember the sergeant teaching us said, you've got to send, when we used to have to do the ranges to actually do the practice firing, you've got to take your safety catch off. You can't fire with a safety catch on. And I was so scared about turning the safety catch on. And I became the safest person in NATO, I think, with my weapon, because I was so nervous about firing it. And I'm using that in terms of failure, because I had such a fear of failure, of actually that I was going to kill someone with my weapon, that it absolutely inhibited how I performed. Now, the more I went, and then when I was in Afghanistan, we used to go to ranges every week, and I absolutely got better and better and better. I mean, I wasn't always okay. I was always safe, do not worry. But in my head, the more I practiced, the more I felt confidence to do it. So that's what I would say to you today is, failure to me is merely feedback. It's telling you that there's something that needs to change. And failure is absolutely part of innovation. In fact, I remember seeing Stephen Bartlett at one of his sessions when I went to a conference where he was speaking. And he talked about, he expects his team to fail every single day. And if they don't, he's really concerned because it shows they're not innovating. He actually has a whole team of experimentation who their job is to fail, because every time you fail, you learn and then you can move forward. So have a think about how you view failure and how you can address that. Because when we're having real challenges to our resilience and we really feel we're under a lot of pressure, and we absolutely, sometimes the fear of failure kicks in even more. But if we go into every situation thinking, wow, what can I learn from this? Every opportunity to learn, then it takes some of the sting out of it. So that's my thought for you for today, is how to review failure in terms of it's merely feedback. It is never a failure, it's only feedback. And feedback how to do something different. And if you want to know more, you can take my resilience scorecard. My resilience diagnostic is 2 minutes, it's free to do, and it gives you feedback straight away. Take care, have a good day. Bye. So good. No, I'm sorry.